Midland, Texas, late August, and the air feels like the inside of a skillet. I'm sitting on the back porch of what used to be my house, my husband raising mine, rocking slow in the same seated chair I rocked our boy Travis in 40-some years ago. The cicadas are screaming like they paid by the decibel, and the only thing moving faster than the heat is the way my daughter-in-law Brittany is flapping her mouth inside. "You eat like a damn field hand and don't lift a finger around here, Loretta," she hollers through the screen door, loud enough for the neighbors 3 sections over to hear. "We're not running a charity for old women who just take up space." I don't answer. I just keep rocking. The chair creaks like it's agreeing with me instead of her. Travis, my only child, don't say a word. He never does no more. He just sits on that leather sectional we bought with Ray's first big royalty check, scrolling on his phone while his wife runs the show. He's got his daddy's blue eyes, but somewhere along the way he lost Ray's backbone. I finish my sweet tea, set the mason jar on the rail, and walk inside. My knees sound like popcorn, but I make it to the kitchen without falling. I start washing the supper dishes, even though Brittany told me twice tonight I don't need to bother. I bother anyway, always have. That night, I sleep in the old bunkhouse out back. They told me last Christmas it'll be just temporary while they fix up the guest room. 6 months later, the guest room's a home gym, and I'm still bunking with the spiders and the smell of old saddle leather. I lay there listening to them laugh in the swimming pool they put in where my vegetable garden used to be. Brittany's voice floats over the water, high and sharp. "Lord, Travis, your mama's gonna outlive us all and bleed us dry doing it." I close my eyes and think about Ray. About the day he came home from the lease with grease on his hands and the wildest grin I ever saw, saying, "Baby, we just hit the mother load." About how he kissed me so hard my hat fell off. About the quiet night 2 years ago when the cancer finally took him and he grabbed my hand with what strength he had left and whispered, "Don't let him ever make you feel small, Rhett. Promise me." I promised. I just didn't know keeping that promise was gonna take so long. 2 weeks later, they're gone to Cabo again for Brittany's content trip. I'm left with a fridge full of kombucha and a note that says, "We'll be back Sunday. Try not to break anything." I sit down at Ray's old road top desk in the study they turned into Brittany's ring light room. I move 15 boxes of glute bands to get to the bottom drawer. Inside is the fireproof box Ray always kept locked. I still got the key on the chain around my neck, right next to my wedding ring that don't fit my swollen finger no more. I open it slow. Smell of old paper and Ray's Copenhagen hits me like a memory. There's the will, the life insurance papers, and then the manila folder marked "Mineral Rights, Loretta June only." My name typed in Ray's favorite font, the one he called Cowboy Bold. I ain't opened this since the lawyer handed it to me at the funeral. I was too busy crying and keeping Travis from falling apart to read the details. I read them now. Every single mineral interest Ray ever owned, every lease, every well, every acre he ever shook hands over was deeded to me alone the week he got the terminal diagnosis. Not to the estate, not to Travis, to me, sole and separate property, recorded at the courthouse in 2021. I set the papers down, hands shaking so hard the pages rattle like dry leaves. Because here's the thing nobody but Ray and Jesus knew. That old Huddleston lease out on 349, the one everybody thought played out in the 90s, just got re-drilled with horizontal wells and new completion tech. The landman from Black Gold Energy has been calling the house for months trying to get the owner of record to sign a new lease. Brittany kept deleting the voicemails, calling it some scammer. I pick up the phone and call Mr. Black Gold myself. 3 weeks later, I'm sitting in a law office downtown wearing my good funeral dress and the boots Ray bought me for our 50th anniversary. The offer they slide across the table makes the room spin. $14 million, upfront bonus, plus an 8th royalty forever. I signed where the lawyer tells me to. My hand don't shake no more. I don't tell a soul.
I move out of the bunkhouse the next day. I pack one suitcase, same one I took on our honeymoon, and my Bible and the picture of Ray holding Travis on his first deer hunt. I leave the house key on the kitchen island next to a pan of cornbread I made that morning. Brittany hates cornbread, so I know it'll just sit there and mock her. I take the Greyhound to Austin because I don't want nobody recognizing me at Midland Air Park. I check into a cheap motel off I-35 and sleep better than I have in years. 2 months later, I'm standing on 200 acres of cedar and live oak heaven just outside Johnson City. Hill country sun turning the grass gold, wildflowers going nuts, a little creek singing over rocks. There's a big old limestone ranch house falling apart and 4 little cottages that ain't seen paint since Lyndon Johnson was president. I pay cash, all of it. Title in the name of the Loretta June Rayburn Trust. Then I get to work. I hired Tommy Trujillo, best carpenter in Blanco County, and his crew. I tell them what I want. Everything wheelchair friendly. Big porches, ceiling fans that actually move air, a commercial kitchen big enough for 10 old ladies to cook at once. I want rocking chairs and hummingbird feeders and a chapel nobody ever has to go to if they don't want. Tommy asks me what I'm going to call the place. I think about Ray, about the way he used to say, "Sugar, this ain't my last stand, it's ours." I smile. Loretta's Last Stand Ranch, and it's for widows only, the kind whose kids decided they were done with them. We open in April, blue bonnets thick as carpet. 6 women move in the first week. Miss Gloria from Odessa, whose son put her in a home that smelled like pee. Miss Diane from San Angelo, who got told, "Mama, the lake house is for family now." Miss Carla from Big Spring, who slept in her car for 3 months after her daughter changed the locks. We eat supper together every night at a table long enough for 20. We drink sweet tea strong enough to float a horseshoe. We tell stories nobody ever asked us for before. We cry when we need to and cuss when we feel like it. And we heal. 1 year, almost to the day after I left Midland, a brand new black King Ranch pulls up the Caliche Road, raising dust like a tornado. I'm sitting on the porch shelling peas with Miss Gloria when Travis climbs out the driver's side. Brittany ain't with him. He looks thinner, older, like life finally caught up and tackled his ass. He walks up slow, hat in his hands like he's at a funeral. "Mama,"
he says, voice cracking on the one word that used to fix everything when he was little. I keep shelling. The peas hit the bowl with a sound like rain. He tries again. We lost the ranch. The bank took it. Brittany left, took the kids to Dallas with some influencer dude. I ain't got nowhere to go. I finally look up. You had somewhere, Travis Ray. You had me. You just forgot the address. He starts crying then, big gulping sobs like the day his dog got hit by a truck when he was 10. I stand up slow, wipe my hands on my apron, and walk down the steps. I wrap my arms around my boy, my only baby, and let him cry into my shoulder like he ain't done since he was 5. When he's quiet, I pull back and hand him a glass of tea I brought out earlier, knowing this day was coming. You can sit a spell, T, I tell him. You can even stay the night in the bunkhouse if you need, but this here is Loretta's last stand, and the sign out front says clear, widows only. You ain't a widow, baby. You're just a man who's learning what lonely feels like. He nods, eyes red. I'm sorry, Mama. I let her talk to you that way. I let her talk about you that way. I was wrong. I look out over the hills where the sun's fixing to set, painting everything the color of a new penny. I know you are, sugar, I say soft. But sorry don't give me back the years I slept in that bunkhouse wondering if I was really the burden they said I was. Sorry don't make the words unsay themselves. I take his hand, still the same little boy hand I used to hold crossing Highway 80, and I squeeze once. But grace does, Travis. Grace is what we do here. You go on and figure out who you're gonna be now that money and Brittany ain't telling you anymore. When you do, you come back and help Tommy fix fences, or cook for the ladies, or just sit and listen to their stories. That's how you start making it right. He nods again, tears still coming. I watch him drive away slow, dust trailing behind him like regrets. Miss Gloria pats the seat beside her. You did good, Loretta June. I sit back down, pick up my bowl of peas again. I tell her, Ray always said a Texas woman's love is big enough to cover a multitude of sins. Just takes some of us a little longer to decide where the property line is. That night, all the ladies gather on the big porch. Somebody brings out the guitars. Miss Diane starts Amazing Grace, and pretty soon every voice on the place is singing. The hill country sky goes purple and pink and orange, big as forever. I tip my head back, close my eyes, and feel Ray smiling down. This ain't the end, baby, I think toward heaven. This here is our last stand, and it's a damn fine one. Somewhere out there, my boy is driving with the windows down and a long night of thinking ahead of him. And in here, 6 old women who were once called burdens are singing loud enough to wake the stars. Turns out, the mother lode wasn't under the ground after all. It was in us the whole time.